Dun, dun. Going live, going live, going live, going live, going live, and according to YouTube, I am live. Hello, if you're watching live, and hello if you watch this on playback. Hello, if you're watching this live stream, welcome to my 40th, I about to say live stream on this channel. So essentially, if you don't know what these live streams are, basically, once or twice, or maybe even 3 times a week, I talk about current movie and TV topics going on in the movie and TV world right now. And at the same time, though, I'll also be answering any live questions sent in during this live stream. And also, if you have a topic you want me to talk about in my next live stream, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll probably talk about it in my next live stream. And at the same time, though, I should say a couple other things today. First of all, I live next to a main road, so you might hear like a car, a truck, a tractor, bike, or whatnot going past during this live stream, and I do apologise if it's the sound of the live stream. And at the same time, though, even so I live in the countryside, sometimes it does feel like I live next to a building site. So if you do hear some like drilling of some sort, like going on at some point on this live stream in the background, again, I do apologise, I'm out of control. And also, sometimes in the past couple of live streams, the stream has cut out. It says the stream's fine today. It says, oh, excellent connection. But I'm just warning you now that it might cut out. And apologies if it does. Again, that's completely out of my control. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into my main topics for today. I've got quite a few things to talk about today. Some things off the top, like some things which I've literally just found out about 5 minutes before I did this live stream today, and also just some other stuff that's been happening in the past couple of days and things like that. Like I'm talking about the fact that Hayden Christensen, who obviously played Anakin in the prequels and the Star Wars prequels, is returning to play Anakin in the Ashoka series as well as the Obi-Wan series. And at the same time, I was talking about the Eternals Rotten Tomatoes score, which generally surprised me. And also, I'm talking about Spider-Man No Way Home, my most anticipated movie for the rest of the year. And at the same time, though, I'll be talking about a little movie which is quite popular right now called Dune. And I'll be talking about that a bit later in this live stream. But first of all, let's go into my first main topic for today. And I've already got the picture up there already. Let's talk about the fact that Hayden Christensen, who played Anakin in the Star Wars prequels, is returning to play Anakin in the Ashoka TV show, which I'm pretty sure is coming out next year. Although I might be wrong there. It might be 2023 actually, because I'm pretty sure they haven't started shooting. Although I might be completely wrong. Maybe they started shooting, we just don't know. But we'll have to wait and see when it comes out, whenever it does. But anyway, let's jump onto Google here and go to the article which basically confirms that Hayden Christensen, that's me doing my live stream, but basically confirms that Hayden Christensen is returning to Star Wars once again. The Star Wars franchise has been expanding in interesting ways over the past few years, especially on the small screen. The Mandalorian kicked things off in a major way, and its success has now paved the way for a few spin-offs. One of these is Ashoka. I might be pronouncing that wrong, by the way, because I'm not really a fan of the character. I'll be getting onto that very, very shortly. Like, I'm not really a fan of the Ashoka character, because I've watched a bit of Clone Wars, just wasn't for me, but I'm going to go onto that very, very shortly in this live stream. But anyway, the Ashoka series is going to mark the return of Rosario Dawson in the role of the Titular Jedi. While the details on the show are scarce, it was recently reported that the Hayden Christensen will reprise the role as Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader for the Disney Plus show. And then basically, as this actually reported, I think that Ashoka actually, the Ashoka actress, Rosario Dawson, a bit tired today, but the Ashoka actress, Rosario Dawson, I think, tweeted that. So, and she's good friends with Hayden Christensen, by the way. I've seen some pitch online which basically confirms that those two are actually good friends. So there you go. We have Hayden Christensen once again. By the way, sorry if you heard that. By the way, I've got a few notifications coming in. Sorry if you just had a little blip there, something like that. Just got a few notifications coming in. But anyway, yes. Basically, yet again, it turns out that Hayden Christensen is once again returning to the Star Wars universe, because actually we already know he's going to the Obi-Wan series, and that's exciting. I was excited for that they're going to make an Obi-Wan series. The fact that they're bringing Hayden Christensen back as well really excited me, because the thing is though, even so I don't think he always played Anakin brilliantly in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, I still liked watching him, and I don't think it's the best performance of the films. I think the best performance of the prequels is either Ian McDiarmid as, Senator Palpatine, or the Emperor, which everyone refers to him as, and also, I think Ewan McGregor's incredible in the prequels, actually. I think he's really good in those films. He probably actually carries quite a lot of Attack of the Clones, in my opinion, but nevertheless, I didn't always love Hayden Christensen in Attack of the Clones, I've got to admit there. In fact, there's some scenes I just straight up don't like his performance in Attack of the Clones, but I like him quite a lot in Revenge of the Sith, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this character can be used again. Again, apologies about that, just got another notification coming in there, but yes, I'm excited to see how this character is going to be used in Ashoka. Well, I take my point back there, actually. I'm excited to see how this character is going to be used in the Obi-Wan series, because we know he's coming back in Obi-Wan. Ashoka, I can give or take. I've got to admit here, I'm not a fan of the Ashoka character. I wasn't a fan of her in Mandalorian Season 2 when she popped up. You know, pardon me, there was one episode where she popped up in Series 2, I think it's called The Jedi, I think it's Episode 6 as well, I'm not entirely sure, but she pops up in Season 2, and I thought, okay, that was enjoyable, but it was my least favourite episode of Series 2, because the thing is though, if you haven't really watched the Clone Wars, you don't know who that character is, and I've seen a bit of Clone Wars, like I've seen the Clone Wars movie, and I've seen a couple episodes from Series 1, but it's just not for me, and honestly, Season 1 of Clone Wars, and I hear it gets better, I know that, but for Season 1 of Clone Wars, for me, it felt like I was watching, you know those videos you get before you go on a ride at a theme park? Like, sometimes you get a video like, be sure to put your seatbelts on the ride and have your bars strapped in and things like that. Again, apologies for the little notification thing going on there, but just be sure to have your bars strapped in. That's what it felt like when I was watching Clone Wars. It felt like those videos you get before you're about to go on a ride at a theme park, and it didn't really work for me. And I know some people say it gets better. Maybe one day I'll sit down, I don't know, maybe next summer, and watch all 7 seasons of Clone Wars. But for now, I really don't have much interest in doing that, I've got to admit. However, if I hear the new Ahsoka show is great, because I know it's live action, if I hear it's great, then I will undoubtedly check it out, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. You know, I've got my Kylo Ren poster up there. I've also got got Baby Yoda Funko Pop there, so I'm doing it on Mirrorway. I've got Darth Vader and stuff back there. I've got my Star Wars framed posters there from the original trilogy. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so, you know, if I hear this show series is great, I'm gonna go and just watch it like that. But the thing is, though, I'm really not anticipating that show. Considering the other Star Wars TV shows which are coming out in the next year or so, like Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian Season 3, Andor, especially Obi-Wan. Christ, Obi-Wan I'm so excited for. But considering all those, I'm really not that excited for Ashoka. But if I hear it's great, I'll check it out. I'll definitely go and check it out. But I'm not a fan of Clone Wars. But nevertheless, this article, well, this news story kind of proves the fact that Hayden Christensen has signed on to appear in more Star Wars projects. Like, I won't be surprised if he appeared in something else as well, which is coming soon. Like, I don't know what else he could appear in, to be honest. Trying to think about that. But I don't know what else he could appear in Star Wars at the moment. But because we know he's returning in Obi-Wan, this kind of confirms that all the actors returning in Obi-Wan, like Ewan McGregor as well, are signing on for more than one Star Wars project. And I thought that all along. Like, I reckon Ewan McGregor's going to show up in Andor, because, the Andor series was shooting at the same time Obi-Wan was shooting. So I reckon that Ewan McGregor's going to appear in, definitely more than one Star Wars project over the next couple of years. And I think the same's going to happen with Hayden Christensen, and that's been confirmed. It's going to be in the Ashoka. So clearly these actors that they're signing up to return for the Star Wars films, like Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, and whoever they bring back and whatnot, because I reckon there's going to be a few more familiar faces in Obi-Wan as well. But it kind of shows that Star Wars is signing up all these actors who appear in multiple projects, and that excites me. I like it when it's all kind of connected in Star Wars. I'm not always a big fan of it in the MCU, but in Star Wars it's a different formula and it kind of works. And I like it when actors come back to a role they haven't played for so many years. Because the thing is, though, Hayden Christensen got so much hate when he played Anakin in the prequels, and actually, the fact that he's willing to return says so much about him as an actor and about him as a person. And I admire that so much. So I'm really happy he's returning, but I gotta admit, I'm just, it's Ahsoka, so I'm not that excited for it. But I'm a huge Star Wars fan. If Ahsoka's great, I'll go and check it out. But yeah, it's interesting to hear that Hayden Christensen is returning for more than one Star Wars project. We know for definite he's going to be in Obi-Wan, which is my most anticipated TV show for next year. So, nevertheless, I'm excited to see him return in some sort of capacity in either Ahsoka and Obi-Wan, although I'm really not that excited about watching Ashoka. But nevertheless, Hayden Christensen's returning to Star Wars, and that's good things, people. That's a good thing. That's a good thing that Hayden Christensen is returning to Star Wars after all these years. But anyway, that is the end of topic number 1 on this live stream for today. So without further ado, let's move into topic number 2. And topic number 2 genuinely shocked me. Topic number 2 is all about the Eternals Rotten Tomatoes scores. Now, I should say a couple of things off the bat. Rotten Tomatoes is sometimes completely wrong, and that's fine. Rotten Tomatoes is wrong sometimes, and that's happened quite a lot. One of my favourite movies over the past couple of years is Bohemian Rhapsody, and that has like a whopping 53% on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that. It's really not that high, and yet I love Bohemian Rhapsody. I think it's a great film. And also, some of the most famous films of all time, Rotten Tomatoes is rated quite low, like The Grinch, which is obviously one of the most beloved Christmas films of all time, the one with Jim Carrey, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and that's what it's called. I might be wrong there, I haven't watched it much, but I know a lot of people who love that film, but that's also got a low rating. Same with, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. A lot of people love that film. I personally don't, I've got to admit. Although I did prefer with the first Home Alone, I'll say that now. But Yeah, Home Alone 2 has a low rating on Rotten Tomatoes. There's plenty of examples as well, I can't think of the top of my head. But sometimes Rotten Tomatoes is wrong, and in fact, Rotten Tomatoes even has their own podcast about how Rotten Tomatoes is often wrong. So, all it is a grain of salt. Because, just because Rotten Tomatoes is saying something doesn't mean you're going to agree with it. However, let's see what they say about the Eternals. Now, I'm not going to read in any reviews really, but I just want to talk about the fact it's got a whopping 68%. Now, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's over average. And in fact, if it was a DC movie, I bet people at DC would be quite happy with that average, to be honest. But it's not as high for most Marvel movies. In fact, it's even close to the Rotten Tomatoes score for Thor: The Dark World, which is about 64%, which is the lowest MCU scored movie on Rotten Tomatoes, which is saying something, by the way, because, woo, I think that's quite high for The Dark World. I think Thor: The Dark World's a pretty bad movie, but that's neither here or there. But anyway, let's look briefly at some reviews. Let's see what some of the there's quite a lot of negative ones here, which is really surprising from like top critics and things like that. I know it's all subjective, but let's see what some of the bad reviews are saying. A film that is constantly at war with itself for nearly 3 hours. Yikes. The film is achingly earnest in tackling issues of diversity and representation, but fails as engrossing entertainment. So there's some bad reviews there. You can go and read them yourselves if you want, but I'm also going to read a good review, because this film's from Chloe Zhao, and she's a great director. I recently watched Nomadland, and that's a brilliant film. So, this is generally surprising, because it's from the same director for Nomadland, who, she won an Oscar for Nomadland for the Oscars back in 2020, and I know 2020 was 2020, but still, Nomadland, regardless of what year it came out, I think it would have won awards regardless. So, yeah, do take it all with a bit. I'm taking this all very surprised, to be honest, because Chloe Zhao, who's directed this film, is an award-winning director. She's an Academy Award-winning director, so it's just very surprising. But anyway, let's see what this good review says here. Zhao's imprint is hard to miss in this movie's steady thrum of melancholy and its deeper order character arcs. And let's see what some other good review says as well. The Eternals experience of life on Earth across thousands of years, and with the help of a strong ensemble cast. Zhao, I might pronounce his name probably. Zhao tracks their shared awe and despair as observes history. Okay, let's see what one other bad review says. Let's go down here a bit. Its main downfall is a confusing script with inconsistently written characters stuck in a timeline that makes it impossible to build momentum or tell a story that makes sense. Yikes, that's not a great review, and especially for Marvel. And that's kind of want to talk about this topic today. Like, normally when a Rotten Tomatoes score comes out for a Marvel movie, I know it's going to be high, because, most people like Marvel movies. I'm not always in the ballpark with most people. I'm not always the majority of most people. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Shang-Chi. I'm not the biggest fan of Black Widow. In fact, I just really don't like Black Widow. But the thing is, though, those movies have good scores on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm happy a lot of people love those movies. I'm always jealous of people when they like a movie more than I do, because they found something in which I didn't. And the thing is, though, I like quite a lot of DC movies. There's some DC movies which I think are just generally terrible. There's also some DC movies which I like, which other people don't like as well. So it's all subjective. But the thing is, though, what surprised me here is Kevin Feige, the head of Marvel Studios, has been hyping up Eternals like it's going to be an Oscar contender. And I can tell you now, even so it isn't confirmed, I don't think it will be an Oscar contender. Because the thing is, Bohemian Rhapsody got quite a low score on Rotten Tomatoes as well, and that turned out to be an Oscar contender. But I don't think Eternals are going to turn out to be, because I'm hearing some reviews there, and they're really surprised, because this film's got great big cast. You got Jimmy Chan in there, Richard Madden, Kit Harington, Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek. You got Kumano Nanjiani, I might pronounce his name, I can't really pronounce it, I got to admit that. But you got this huge cast of the film, it goes on and on and on. And yet, it's meant to be probably one of the most disappointing Marvel movies for the past 10 years. Which is saying something, by the way. So, that's really surprised me, the score it's getting. The fact that that's actually gone down. I'm pretty sure I looked yesterday, and it was at 73%, which, isn't bad still, but it's gone down to 68% now. And again, that's not a bad score, but it's bad for Marvel. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's bad for Marvel. There's quite a lot of Marvel fans going, "Oh my god, I'm not listening to what Marvel's ever again now. I'm not trusting critics. I never really trust critics because they've all been wrong about movies." Well, they say that when the one Marvel movie doesn't get the complete positive reviews, but then when a movie like, I don't know, we'll use a random example here, Thor Ragnarok comes out and gets like 90% of Rotten Tomatoes, everyone goes, "Whoo, Rotten Tomatoes is always right about the MCU MCU, but then when Eternals gets like 68% of Rotten Tomatoes, people are like, Rotten Tomatoes is always wrong about the MCU. You know, you can't do both. And it surprised me, this, because even though I'm quite down on the MCU in general, quite pessimistic about it, I always like when the MCU surprises me, and I've wanted them to surprise me for a long time. I haven't been surprised for an MCU movie since Far From Home, and I know that was the last Marvel movie before, Black Widow, but still, we've had 2 Marvel movies since Far From Home, and the TV shows as well, like WandaVision. I wasn't a fan of that, it just felt like Life on Mars, but Marvel, Loki, okay, I don't mind Loki, actually, I think Loki's alright, but it didn't hugely surprise me. I like it, but I don't love it, and also, Falcon Winter Soldier I just thought was, I completely forgot about what Falcon and Winter Soldier was about, really. I almost forgot to mention it, actually. And Black Widow, I thought was massively disappointing. And Shang-Chi, I thought was okay, but, could have been a lot better in the end. And I really want to go into Eternals, and it really surprised me, and be like the next Guardians of the Galaxy for me. Because I remember going watching Guardians of the Galaxy back in 2014 in cinema, I'm really not expecting much, and coming out going, you know what? I absolutely love that movie. But I'm afraid I'm not going to have that same reaction to this one, which is a shame, because I want to. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I'm quite pessimistic about the MCU, but I always want to surprise me, regardless of what they come out with. And I was really thinking that the Eternals going to be a movie that surprises me, and it might still, Rotten Tomatoes, I've talked about in the past, is wrong. It has been wrong plenty of times before, but the thing is, though, it doesn't sound like it is going to surprise me, and that's disappointing. And I know I've spoken quite badly about the MCU before, but there are some MCU movies I love. Like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I think Iron Man 1 is a great film, and I also think Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home are really enjoyable. And I want to say the same about Eternals, but I've just got a feeling I'm not going to now after I hear the score. But hopefully I go watch the movie when it comes out November the 5th, yeah. Hopefully I can watch it when it comes out November the 5th, and hopefully I really, really like it. But I don't have that much hope right now, and that's a bit of a shame. And it was just generally shocking watching the Rotten Tomatoes score come up the other day, because I was a bit like, okay, a Marvel movie that's got quite a low score, okay, quite low for Marvel, and that's just, I don't know. I just didn't see that coming at all. But nevertheless, it's all subjective, and I hope I enjoy it a lot more than clearly some of the critics on Rotten Tomatoes have already. But anyway, that is the end of topic number 2. Eternals has quite a low score for Marvel on Rotten Tomatoes. But anyway, let's move into another Marvel topic for topic number 3 today. Oh no, jumping ahead there, that was topic number 4. I'm not talking about Last Night in Soho just yet, but before I talk about my topic, which is all about Spider-Man No Way Home, I'm going to briefly have a drink of water, because my voice is going a bit. Okay then, let's talk about Spider-Man No Way Home for topic number 3 today. So basically what I'm talking about now is the fact that John Watts, the director of the new Spider-Man, of Spider-Man No Way Home, has called it Spider-Man Endgame. Let's see what he says on the article we get up on Google. Give me a second. So this is an article from GameRant, which is relatively reliable, but this is a quote from, I think, Empire Magazine, which, by the way, I get, so I'll actually see this in Empire Magazine tomorrow, which is quite exciting. I'm looking forward to getting this edition, because it's all about Spider-Man, which is my most anticipated movie for the rest of the year, by the way. Don't know if you already knew that. It's my most anticipated movie for the rest of the year, because I really enjoyed Homecoming and Far From Home, and I've also really enjoyed the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, and the Amazing Spider-Man films. They are what they are. I quite enjoy Andrew Garfield from them, though, but with all the rumours surrounding, with all the returns that we know are coming, like, Alfred Doctor Octopus, we also have some other confirmations that we're talking about very, very shortly in this live stream today. It just makes me more and more excited for this film. So let's briefly talk about Spider-Man No Way Home and what John Watt, its director, has said about it. We're definitely trying to be more ambitious. When asked about how ambitious, Watts responded, "It's Spider-Man Endgame. Spider-Man No Way Home, which will feature the multiverse and see the return of many other characters from previous Spider-Man films, such as from previous Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, is set to conclude Holland's Homecoming trilogy." That is according to Holland himself. That's Tom Holland there to talk about. And then, yes, so basically he's called the movie Spider-Man Endgame. That's John Watts, the director there. There's a better picture of him there. He's the director of the new Spider-Man movie. He's director of Far From Home and Homecoming as well. And he called the new movie Spider-Man Endgame. And actually, to back this all up, a whole thing about Spider-Man Endgame, because I was trying to get Avengers Endgame there, this was also confirmed today, The Lizard and Sandman have been confirmed by the Empire magazine leaks, with the original actors reprising their roles. Wrestling fans and Thomas Hayden Church are coming back. Hashtag Spider-Man No Way Home. And here's the source, and here's a picture there. I don't know how well you can see this picture. Worlds which include Wrestling fans of the Lizard and Thomas Hayden Church the Sandman, and you can see there it says and Jamie, so that further confirms really, because we already know already, that Jamie Foxx as Electro is returning in the new Spider-Man movie as well. So this whole idea, this whole idea of Spider-Man No Way Home being like Spider-Man Endgame is exciting, and that's coming from someone who's not a fan of Avengers Endgame. But the thing is, though, the reason I'm excited for Spider-Man No Way Home and the reason I don't really like Avengers Endgame are two different things. Like, the reason I don't like Avengers Endgame is because I think it's fan service a movie, and the thing is, though, I don't like the majority of the MCU, and I don't like how Avengers Endgame, deals with fan service for its plot. So I'm not the biggest fan of Avengers Endgame, I've got to admit that, and I'll probably make a video about that in the near distant future on this channel. Some of my other reasons why I'm not a fan of Endgame, but that's neither here or there. But anyway, let's talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, the reason the fan service doesn't really bother me in this film is, first of all, because I like the movies that it might be doing fan service of. Like, I'm a huge fan of all three Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, and I'm a fan of... I don't actually mind The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and a lot of people hate it. I actually kind of enjoy it, but for the wrong reasons, and I really enjoy the Tom Holland Spider-Man films as well. So, so the fan service is going to work for me in this movie regardless, though. Like, I don't really care about the fact that some people are saying it's a bit gimmicky that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield might be in this movie. That doesn't really bother me, because I quite enjoy the interpretations of Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, in their previous movies, so actually that kind of excites me. But if it was a different instance, I say, I don't know, in the next... I can't use for example, to be honest, I'm looking for another one. But yes, for different instances, that maybe I wouldn't be so excited about it. But the fact is, though, it's a Spider-Man instance, and actually, I'm a huge fan of the Spider-Man films I've seen so far. And also, the fact is, with this movie, I think it's going to use fan service as well. Now, I might be completely wrong. And maybe when I come watch this movie at Christmas, and I come out the cinema, like, actually, use fan service pretty awfully. But I've got a feeling it's going to use them well, because... bear in mind, we have, this is confirmed by the way, Jamie Foxx, Academy Award-winning actor, returning to play Electro. Character and a performance he wasn't really praised upon when the Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out. He wasn't really... the Electro character and Jamie Foxx's performance as Electro was not praised when Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out. And so the fact that he's returning for this movie, I think does say a lot, maybe about the script, which is kind of interesting. We also know that Alfred Molina is definitely returning as Dr. Octopus. That was in the Spider-Man trailer. So, Alfred Molina is quite old nowadays. Actually, I don't know how old he is, but he's much older than he was when he originally played Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man 2. So, I think, again, the reason he came back was probably because of the script. And also, we're getting rumours that Willem Dafoe is returning as a Green Goblin. Now, that's almost be confirmed. That's about semi-confirmed at the moment. And the thing is, though, Willem Dafoe has actually spoken about before how he doesn't really like the MCU movies, and he thinks the quote-unquote new Spider-Man movies, which he refers to as the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, are just money grabs. But the fact is, though, he might be coming back in the new one. He might be coming back in Tom Holland's third Spider-Man film, which again I think says a lot about the actor and also maybe about the script. So I think that is going to use fan service as well. That's just pure speculation, but when you put all those things together and the fact that Thomas Hayden Church and Wrestling fans are returning as well, you do start to think that maybe it's because of the script, because these actors are, okay, these actors are acting in the end. Yes, they want a paycheck, and yes, they got to earn money for the family, but an actor like Willem Dafoe is, he's working in, project after project after project. And I don't really feel that he would return to the role if he didn't think the script was good enough. And, maybe I'm wrong there. But it says a lot when you might have Willem Dafoe returning in your movie. An actor which, is in so many movies nowadays. He's even in French Dispatch, which I watched last Friday. He was even in that. He popped in like one scene. I was like, Willem Dafoe's in this movie as well, because French Dispatch got one of the biggest casts ever. But yes, that was just quite surprising. And the thing is, Willem Dafoe has been in loads of projects, and I think it says something that he might be in this movie. Now, that's not been confirmed, but it is basically confirmed. So that says a lot about this movie. And actually, the fact that John Watts, the director of this movie, is calling it Spider-Man Endgame gets me excited. Because even so I'm not a fan of Endgame myself, I'm not a fan of Avengers Endgame, the fact that he's calling this a Spider-Man Endgame means that all the stops are going to be pulled out. And you know what that also means? We're probably going to have the return of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's film. And all the people have been speculating for months and months on end I think within the next 2 weeks, it's going to be confirmed. I'd be surprised if they don't confirm it before the film. Like, I think they're going to be in the film, and if they're not, it's one of the biggest missed opportunities in cinema history. Honestly, that's not even a joke. It's one of the biggest missed opportunities in cinema history if Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are not in this film. That's like having, I don't know, Michael Keaton's Batman Return in. That's like having a Star Wars film with no lightsabers in there. In fact, Solo did that, and actually no, Solo did have lightsabers in there. So there are some instances like it's like having, like I said, it's like having a Star Wars movie without having any lightsabers in there. It just wouldn't bring the same thrill to those sort of movies. In fact, Solo has that one little bit. We have Darth Maul show up in there, and by the way, it's completely off track, but I'm still going to talk about it anyway. But Solo had that one little bit where Darth Maul pops up in there. Spoiler for Solo if you haven't watched it, but it came out in 2018. You had time to watch it, so be surprised if you haven't already. But yeah, Solo has a little moment where Darth Maul shows up in there, and he was like a lightsaber. And the thing is, though, I'm not actually the biggest fan of Solo because it doesn't have much energy in them, because it doesn't really have much energy in its film. But the thing is, though, I like parts of all the other Star Wars movies because of all the lightsaber stuff. And I know that's a bit, like, kiddish and stuff like that. It's a bit childish. But the thing is, though, I watched Star Wars movies as a child, so watching all the lightsaber stuff as a child was, like, amazing to me. So whenever I watch the films now, and whenever I watch the Star Wars films now, and all the lightsaber stuff pops and things like that, I'm like, lightsabers, that's really exciting for me. And it just brings so much more energy into those Star Wars films. And the thing is, though, I always think it's a missed opportunity when, a Mandalorian didn't do it, to be honest, but Mandalorian's kind of a different beast in itself. But the thing is, though, I always think it's a bit of a missed opportunity when Star Wars doesn't really include lightsabers and something like that. And I know it's a bit of a small thing, but at the same time, that's kind of a big thing when you think about it. And I just think, honestly, if Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are not in this new Spider-Man movie, it will quite literally be one of the biggest missed opportunities in cinema history. And I think Sony knows that, who's producing this movie, and I think the MCU knows that. I think Kevin Feige, the head of Marvel Studios, knows that as well. He's also co-producing this movie. I think everyone involved with the new Spider-Man movie knows that if Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are not in this movie, it will quite literally be one of the biggest missed opportunities in cinema history. And you can't deny that. It's like not having all the heroes together in Avengers Endgame. That'd be one of the biggest missed opportunities in cinema history as well. It's like not having, John Williams score the 9th Star Wars movie. And I know he did, but say he didn't, that's one of the biggest opportunities in cinema history. It's like not having stock characters and characters we've been known from previous Indiana Jones movies not appearing in Indiana Jones 5. It's a big missed opportunity. Maybe not as big missed opportunity as Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in this film, but it is another big missed opportunity. And you get my point there. I think Disney, who bear in mind are producing this movie, and I think Kevin Feige, I think people at Sony all know what the fans want. They've heard the fans over the past year and a half. They've been talking about Spider-Man No Way Home time and time again. They know what the fans want. And I will be shocked if they're not in this movie. And the fact is that John Watts, the director of the movie, is calling this Spider-Man Endgame, just further, reinforces my idea that they are going to be in this movie. And if they're not, I will be shocked. I will be shocked. I mean, John Watts has even said there's a quite ambitious Star Wars movie, sorry. John Watts, the director of the movie, has actually said there's going to be quite an ambitious Spider-Man movie. So I reckon they're going to be in a big part as well. And I reckon this movie is going to have a lot of other big surprises in it. I also reckon that we're going to see Tom Hardy as Venom in some sort of capacity. Maybe as a cameo, because I don't think it'll be the 6th villain. I think Sony wants a movie which is Spider-Man v Venom as the 3rd Venom movie. But I think Venom's going to show up in there. Tom Hardy's Venom at that, not the Venom from Spider-Man 3. But I think Tom Hardy's Venom's going to show up in there. And I also think that it might be in a post-credit scene as well. And I also think we're going to get some other surprises. Maybe some other characters from the previous Sam Raimi Spider-Man films or the Amazing Spider-Man films return as well. Maybe we'll get Aunt May return from one of the earlier Spider-Man movies. Who knows? And, anything could happen, because bear in mind we had those certain sort of cameos in Endgame as well. Had Michael Douglas at one point in Endgame. We had Thingy played Tony's father in Iron Man in Endgame as well. And I think we could have one of the Aunt Mays from the past in this new Spider-Man movie. I don't know, pure speculation. But I wouldn't put it completely out of bounds. We could also have one of the previous villains turn up in a little cameo role as well. We'll just have to wait and see for the new Spider-Man movie. But the thing is, though, with Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman confirmed now, with Wizard fans returning as a Lizard now, it generally gets me thinking that they're pulling off all the stops with this new Spider-Man movie. And that excites me. It's my most anticipated movie for the rest of the year. And the fact is, though, John Watts has called it Spider-Man Endgame. That excites me. I'm really looking forward to this new movie. Hopefully it's great. Hopefully it really, really pulls out all the stops in the best way possible. And hopefully it's absolutely fantastic. And just before I finish this topic today, I also want to briefly talk about this other topic as well, which just literally came up about 5 minutes before I did the stream today. And this other topic, if you jump onto Google here, is all about the fact that none other than Bill Murray himself will be reappearing in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, aka Ant-Man 3. So we scroll down here, while promoting his role in Wes Anderson's latest film, The French Dispatch, the 71-year-old Murray said in the October 26th interview published by German outlet, he said recently that he shot a role for Marvel Studios' Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. And basically, let's see what he says here. Recently I made a Marvel movie. I probably won't tell you, but never mind. There you go. And also he says from here, in any case, some people were quite surprised why I decided on such a project. But for me, the thing was quite clear. I got to know the director and I really liked him. And he was funny, humble, everything you want from a director. So I agreed, although I'm not interested in these huge comic book adaptations as an actor otherwise. And even went on to say this, let's put it this way, the director's a good guy, and now I've at least tried out what it's like to shoot a Marvel movie, but I don't think I need that experience a second time. So that's kind of cool as well. It's nothing to do with Spider-Man or anything like that. But we're going to have Bill Murray in a Marvel movie. That's quite something to think about, actually. And even so, I wasn't the biggest fan of Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'll go and check out Ant-Man and the Wasp 3. Hopefully it's great. I'll go and check it out when it comes out. So it's going to be interesting to see Bill Murray in there, though. I bet he'll be used in quite a comical way. Kind of like the way Michael Pena's using those films as well. Like when you have those mini moments where, he tells a story and everything like that. Like, he told me this and he told me that. And if you watch the Ant-Man films, you probably know what I mean there. There's a lot of moments where, Ant-Man's best mate and he pops up and he says, oh, and I heard this and I heard that and I heard this and I heard that. And it's like, okay, this is Michael Pena's character and I reckon Bill Murray's character might have a similar sort of arc. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see when the new Ant-Man movie comes out. But yes, I just wanted to cover that very, very briefly because I think Bill Murray is one of my favourite actors working today. I love him in all his Wes Anderson films that he's in, and I can't wait to see him in the new Ghostbusters film. And I just think he's a great actor, and the fact that he's playing a Marvel movie makes that Marvel movie a bit more exciting to watch, in my opinion. But anyway, without further ado, let's move into topic number 4. Topic number 4 on this live stream for today. I'm losing track of the topics, but before I talk about last night in Soho, I'm going to have another drink because my voice is going a bit. Apologies about that. It's been a long day, but anyway. Okay, sorry about that, but let's, without further ado, move on with the live stream for today. And let's talk about Last Night in Soho, the new Edgar Wright movie, which I'm seeing this Friday. I cannot wait to see this movie. I am so excited to see it because it's an Edgar Wright film. And Edgar Wright, if you don't already, is my favourite film director working today. I absolutely love his movies, all of them. I also love his TV show Space, which he directed, which also has Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. And I love Shaun of the Dead. I love Hot Fuzz. I love Hot Fuzz, by the way. I love The World's End. I love Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I think it's a masterpiece. I love Baby Driver, and I also the Sparks Brothers documentary, which he directed about a couple of months ago now, which is still my favourite movie of the year. Dune is a close second. Dune's a close second, and that's we're talking about Dune very, very shortly in this live stream. But yes, Dune's a close second, but my number one favourite movie of the year so far is an Edgar Wright movie called The Sparks Brothers, which I absolutely loved. But anyway, he's got a new movie coming out at the end of this week, and I cannot tell you how excited I am. Honestly, I'm counting down the minutes till I get to see Last Night in Soho. The trailers have worked me so much, and I think the cast looks great. I think Anya Taylor-Joy and Thomas McKenzie look great in there. I think Matt Smith looked great in there. We have Diana Rigg in her final performance. Diana Rigg, who played the best Bond girl in my opinion on Magic Secret Service. We also have Terence Stamp in there. It looks so good. It looks like so much fun. It's also, Edgar Wright doing psychological horror, which we haven't really seen him doing before, and it's so exciting. We're going to get a new Edgar Wright movie. It's coming out in cinemas as well. Honestly, if this movie was coming out streaming, I'd be excited for it, but I wouldn't be as excited for it because I love seeing movies at cinema, and I can't wait to see this movie at cinema. I haven't really seen an Edgar Wright movie, with the exception of Sparks Brothers, which is slightly different because that's a documentary, but with the exception of Sparks Brothers, I haven't really seen an Edgar Wright movie at the cinema. I almost went to go and see Baby Driver at the cinema back in 2017, and I remember opting no, because I think I went to go and see a Marvel movie instead. And let me tell you now, that is one of the biggest regrets I've ever had not seeing a movie at the cinema, not seeing Baby Driver at the cinema. Oh my god, I would love to see Baby Driver at the cinema. I adore that movie so much. I think it's bonkers fun. And the things though, I reckon Last Night in Soho is going to be as well. You know, even so the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and like I said before, previously in the live stream, you shouldn't always trust Rotten Tomatoes, but even so the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes for the film have been completely positive. They've been generally positive. They're about 73% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, which is higher than the Eternals, by the way. I think that says something about Marvel's Eternals in itself. I don't know. We'll have to wait until the movie comes out. But yes, the reviews are generally quite positive on Rotten Tomatoes, and I've seen a lot of tweets online, by the way, as well, because I have Twitter now, which and I follow Edgar Wright on Twitter. So basically, you get all these reviews from like famous people like Stephen King, Ryan Johnson, the director of Knives Out and The Last Jedi, and also John Krasinski, who's obviously directed the Quiet Place films, to play Jim Halpert in The American Office. All these famous people online, like I said, John Krasinski, Ryan Johnson, Stephen King, all tweeting that they really like the movie. Pardon me there. And that really excites me. Filmmakers themselves. I know Stephen King's not a filmmaker, but he's been involved in the film business quite a lot of some of his films, like Shawshank Redemption, The Shining, Doctor Sleep, and so on and so on. All these people have been involved in the film business for quite a while now. I've seen this movie fantastic, and that really, really excites me. And honestly, I can't wait to see it. I really can't. I want to go and see it now, to be honest. But I'll have to wait till Friday, annoyingly. I'll have to wait till Friday to see Last Night in Soho. But I can't wait to see it. I really can't. And I'll have my review up on Sunday, probably. Or maybe next Monday, depending on how busy this weekend is for me. But, nevertheless, I can't wait to see it so badly. Honestly, the post looks great as well. Just the trailers look so good. If you're not interested in this movie yet, go and check out the trailers. And I can show you now, like I said before, if you watch Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World End, Scott Pilgrim, Baby Driver, or the Space TV show, you'll probably really like this movie as well because it's from the same director. Edgar Wright's my favourite film director working today, and he hasn't disappointed me yet. Fingers crossed he doesn't do this Friday. Fingers crossed it isn't disappointing this Friday. And fingers crossed I absolutely love this movie because I've heard from a lot of people. That it's really, really good. And fingers crossed I have the same reaction. Honestly, you cannot believe how excited I am for this movie. It's like my second most anticipated movie for the rest of the year. I just can't wait to see it. But anyway, that's the end of topic number 4 on this live stream for today. A bit jumbling with my words today because I'm a bit tired, I'm not going to lie. And also my voice is starting to go, if you know, already as well. But without further ado, let's move into my 5th and final main topic for today. I just gone back on myself last night. But no, my 5th and final main topic for today is all about the fact that Dune Part 2 has been confirmed. It's time to jump onto Google here and be going to the article from Variety. Let's see what they said. Dune is officially getting a sequel. Hey! Legendary Entertainment announced the news in a tweet on Tuesday, ensuring that the spice will continue to flow on screen. Warner Bros. Will distribute the film, bit surprising there, and help finance it through Legendary. Though Legendary is the primary money behind the movie and owns the film's rights to the book series. The film is expected to have an exclusive theatrical run. Good, and Legendary will likely make the point ironclad after Dune debuted simultaneously on theatres and HBO Max. By the way, imagine seeing this movie, and if you haven't already, go and check it out. It's an incredible cinematic experience, in my opinion. And I said that in my review, actually. Go and check out my review if you haven't already. But yes, imagine seeing this movie on a TV. I mean, I will eventually, but imagine not seeing it in a cinema. That is just... It's almost like a crime against cinema in itself. You're cheapening the whole experience there if you didn't see Dune in a cinema. If you haven't yet, go and check it out in the cinema. It's an amazing cinematic experience. And just people who watch the movie online, or on streaming, should I say, what were you thinking? I don't know. But anyway, let's continue the article here. The unorthodox distribution pattern was just talked about the fact that Dune was disputing on HBO Max at one point. But let's see what the other bit here says. But one that caused an uproar when it was reopened in 2020, Dune Part 2 will hit theatres on October 20th, 2023. That's earlier than I expected. I thought it was going to be 2024, by the way. I'll be talking about that a bit shortly in this live stream. But anyway, let's see what this tweet says from Legendary, who obviously produced the film, and by the way, who also produced the Lord of the Rings films as well. bit of a connection there because they both feel like very special cinematic events taking place in cinema right now. But anyway, let's see what Legendary tweeted the other day from October 26th, which was only yesterday. This is only the beginning. Thank you to those who have experienced Dune movie so far and those who are going to in the days and weeks ahead. We're excited to continue the journey, and here's a picture there of Dune Part 2. It's happening, people. I'm opening up Twitter now. I don't know how to open up Twitter. But yes, it's happening. A little poster there. Dune Part 2 is officially happening. That is good. That's good movie news, people. Because, man, oh man, oh man, if this film didn't get a sequel, again, it'd be one of the biggest missed opportunities in cinema history. I've said that already in this live stream. I talked about Tom McGuire and Andrew Garfield and Spider-Man Home, about that being a big missed opportunity if they're not in it. And again, if we didn't get Dune 2, that would be such a big missed opportunity. But the fact is, though, we are. And we're getting it earlier than expected. We're getting it in October 2023. I didn't think we'll get this movie till 2024, because I don't even think the script's finished yet from the report that I've heard. Like, I think Denis Villeneuve is still writing the script, and I don't think the movie's meant to shoot till September of next year, so September 2022. So, it might be a bit of a rush to get this film finished and done, unless they're shooting early now. Unless, with the success of this movie, maybe they're shooting this movie now in, I don't know, January or February next year. But still, I don't know. That's just a lot sooner than I expected. Hopefully it's great, though. Hopefully all the detail and everything is there, just like it was with this first film. And I can't wait to the sequel. I can't wait to see the sequel. You know, slight spoilers here if you haven't seen Dune yet. I love the fact at the end that you saw the guy riding the worm. I can't wait to see the way, like, you know, that what's his name, Paul Atreides, you know, talks to all the I'm not telling one of the names right now. I'm kind of feeding on some of the names. The Free Men, which, you know, the Sand People. I can't wait to see him deal with the worms and things like that. I can't wait to see more of the worms. I can't wait to see, you know, Stan Skarsgård return as a Baron, and Dave Bautista probably have a big role in there as well. I'm really excited to see this cast return. Probably some new faces in there as well. I reckon we're going to get a bit of a new cast member, things like that. Also, probably get some face return. I've heard online that Jason Momoa, well, should I say, not Jason Momoa, but the character that he played, Duncan, might be returning, which is really cool because he's my favourite character from the film, and I'd be loving to see him return. But I'm not going to get into why that might be a bit unlikely though. But anyway, Josh Brolin, I'll probably see him return in the next film because, you know, we didn't actually see him die in the first film. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see his cast return. Rebecca Ferguson return as Lady Jessica. Hopefully, apparently, I watched an interview with her, which she said that if she ever got to make part 2 of Dune, which is, you know, happening now, that, you know, her and Denis Villeneuve, the director of the film, want to explore more into the stuff with Lady Jessica, which is really exciting in my opinion, because I really like that character when I watched the film. So yes, I'm hoping this next movie is going to be just as good, or even better than the next one, because I did hear Denis Villeneuve online, who's obviously the director of the film, he's obviously going to direct the new film, say something like the next film is going to be, you know, pure cinematic pleasure. I felt that with the first film. So if the next one's going to be pure cinematic pleasure, imagine what it's going to be like. That's going to be amazing. But I felt with the first film anyway. But anyway, yes, he also said there's going to be more action in the next film, which is also quite exciting. I mean, I thought there was a lot of great action in the first film, but, you know, the fact there's going to be more, again, excites me. It's just, I'm looking forward to the movie quite a lot. Even so, we got a long way to wait. If they make the movie great and if it's going to be absolutely brilliant when it comes out, I'm fine with waiting for so long. Honestly, I'm fine with waiting because, man, this was a good film and I can't wait to see the sequel. We'll have to wait till October 2023, which is a while, but it's sooner than I expected. So I'll take that. It's sooner than I expected. And I'm looking forward to it. In fact, it's only 2 years away, isn't it? Oh, there you go there. I'm looking forward to it quite a lot. And hopefully it's just as good or even better than the first Dune movie, which I absolutely adored. And do go and check out my review of Dune if you haven't already. But anyway, that is the end of my 5th and final main topic on this live stream for today. So that is the end of this live stream. So I should say, just before I finish this live stream, I will be checking out Last Night in Soho, probably the film I'm, you know, the second film I'm most excited to see for the rest of the year. I will be checking out Last Night in Soho at the end of this week on Friday, so look out for my review coming probably sometime in the weekend or sometime next week as well. But do look forward to my review of Last Night in Soho whenever that's meant to come out, and also look forward to many more both film and TVs coming very soon on this channel. And also, if you haven't yet, please do click down below and like, subscribe on this live stream. And as always, guys, thank you for watching, and see you guys again soon. And also, by the way, just say, if you have a topic you want me to talk about in my next live stream, please let me know in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys again soon. But bye for now. Actually, gotta end the stream, yeah. Bye.